Narrative skills is our next skill, and that involves the ability to tell stories, understanding that stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end, who and what characters are and why they do what they do, and narrative skill development aids their ability to comprehend and predict what happens next in the story. At about 3 years old, children will begin to describe recurring events. For instance, what happens at lunchtime? What do we do at bedtime? As children get older, they gradually add more and more detail to the stories that they can tell. Young children may use story phrases they've heard, such as once upon a time or the end, when telling a story. Young children can tell stories about and describe events that most closely relate to their experiences. Older children begin to be able to use creativity and imagination and will tell stories about things that have not actually happened to them. To encourage the development of narrative skills, you should share stories that have a cumulative or sequential plot and encourage children to guess what will happen next in the story. After reading, you should talk to your children about the main events of the story and ask them to recall events as they happened. You can also use action rhymes and songs with your child that are cumulative or sequential in nature, like there was an old lady who swallowed a fly, and this is the house that Jack built, where plot elements build on each other. After reading a book, encourage your child to draw his or her own pictures to go along with the story. Ask him to describe what's happening in the pictures, and as he's describing, write those events down for him so that he can see it in print. Retell the story with props like stick puppets and ask your child to help. You can also add on to favorite stories by asking children what they think happened after the story ended. Who else visited the three little bears? If Max had a yellow crayon, what would he have drawn? Another way to encourage the development of narrative skills is to choose wordless picture books to share with your children. Wordless picture books are great for close one-on-one sharing and can help your child learn to read despite the fact there are no words in these books. Wordless picture books encourage your child to gather and process information just from the pictures. Using the information they gather from the pictures, they can use their own words to tell what they think is happening in the story, putting narrative skills and vocabulary development to work. Phonological awareness is actually an auditory skill that pertains to reading readiness. It includes awareness of syllables. Pancake has 2 syllables, pan and cake. Awareness of rhymes, the cat in the hat slept on the mat. Awareness of phonemes, which are the smallest speech sounds. An awareness of words and the sounds that they start or end with. Dog starts with a D sound and ends with a G sound. When children are aware of the sounds that make up words and have played with those sounds, they are more ready to understand that sounds can be represented by letters, sound out unfamiliar words that they come to, and be able to spell words. As young as 1 or 2, children may be able to be aware of the syllables in words, the beginning vowel sounds of words, and the ending sounds of words. They may show that they know the difference between rhyming words like cat and hat and mat and bat. And 3 and 4-year-olds may be able to point out that 2 words sound the same, and they may actually be able to begin to memorize and recite favorite rhymes, songs, and poems. At 4, children may know the beginning and ending sounds of words. They appreciate rhymes, riddles, and rhyming stories. When asked to rhyme words, children may make mistakes or make up nonsense word rhymes rather than using real words. Just the fact that they are trying to rhyme at all shows that children are becoming phonologically aware, even if they aren't correct. Children need to have many experiences with different words, not just rhyming words, in order to become aware of sound similarities and differences. To encourage them, play with words. Read books or make up rhymes with silly words like hullabaloo or pollywog, and enjoy and explore words with children. To encourage phonological awareness development, you should sing songs. Sing rhyming songs, sing silly songs. Songs are a natural way for children to explore the sounds of words. You should clap along with the songs to the beat with the words or the syllables in the words. Use noisemakers to make it more fun, like shakers or maracas. Adding fun will encourage them to become aware of the rhythm. Recite rhyming poems, add hand and body movements to make them fun. And if they enjoy them, repeat them, repeat them, repeat them. Our next skill is letter knowledge, which is recognizing and naming the letters of the alphabet. Knowing the differences and the similarities between the letters, knowing that specific sounds go with specific letters. This is a common school readiness skill. Most kindergarten teachers are going to expect that children will know the alphabet. Children who know their letters and understand that letters represent specific sounds are better prepared to figure out the letter-sound relationships that become words. Understanding that letter symbols result in specific words helps children start to predict the letters in unfamiliar words with some success. The alphabet song is a good building block, but it is more of a memorized song than an understanding of a list of letters. Most children start to show interest in letters, especially in their own names, by age 3. And may also notice letters from their name and the words they see around them on signs and in books. They also begin to show an interest in writing their names. Because uppercase letters require less fine motor skill than lowercase, it's typically easier for them to begin with uppercase letters. By age 5, many children have expanded the letters they recognize and write to include letters in words that are familiar or meaningful to them. Understanding the function or purpose of letters comes from meaningful experiences producing them. For instance, writing their names, writing notes to mom, helping with grocery lists, things of that nature. Letters may be upside down or backwards or all over the page when they are trying to write a word. They may skip letters and only write their favorites. They may just make marks and call them letters. All of this is normal. To help your child develop letter knowledge, you can do things like point out when the child's name is written on things around you. If it's written on the child's belongings, if it's written on greeting cards, if it's written on signs. You can sing the alphabet song with your child, and you can talk with your child about the shapes of letters. Help them create letters with their fingers and their bodies. Another way to help your child develop letter knowledge is to point out letters in the environment or the words that they see around them on traffic signs, t-shirts, restaurant menus, juice boxes, things like that. Make writing materials available for play and exploration. Washable, of course. Always encourage them to write their names on drawings, coloring pages, and art projects that they do. We hope that you've enjoyed our presentation about the 6 reading readiness skills.
And if you have any questions, be sure to contact your children's librarian at your local Lexington Public Library branch. Thank you.
Thank you.